but certainly we're keyed up here at the ringside in the Grand Hall of Wembley, with the audience waiting now for the two men to come to the ringside. Rolando Bohal, 21 years old, from the Philippines, who won this title in January this year in Manila when he outpointed Chang Ho Choi of South Korea. He's made one defense again in Manila in May, and he outpointed another South Korean, Cho Woon Park. And the challenger from Croydon is 25-year-old Duke Mckenzie. The lights go out, up come the spots, and the first man to appear will be the challenger. Behind the Union flag comes Croydon's Duke Mckenzie, winner of all his 20 pro fights. Mckenzie salutes the crowd, and now he waits for the man he hopes to beat, the IBF world champion from the Philippines, Rolando Bohal. Well, there have been some great Filipino fighters over the years. It's a country that's produced a good few world champions, and here's the latest in the line, Rolando Bohal. Robed and hooded in white, the champion. So we have the men in the ring, and now the national anthem. National anthem. As you heard earlier, Britain have a long tradition in World Flyweight Champions, going all the way back to Jimmy Wilde in 1916. The last man to hold the World Flyweight Championship from this country was Charlie Magri, and Charlie is with me at the ringside. We'll get an opinion from him after the announcement.
And Terry Lawless present a flyweight contest of 12 3-minute rounds at 8 stones for the IBF Flyweight Championship of the World. Presenting and introducing in this corner, ladies and gentlemen, from the Philippines, the flyweight champion of the world, Rolando Bohal. And from Croydon, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, the flyweight champion of Europe, Mckenzie. At the weigh-in, both boxers scaled 8 stones exactly. And the officials for this contest, ladies and gentlemen, appointed by the IBF, the judges are Lou Talbot from the USA, Walter Cavalieri from Italy, Roland Dakin from England, the referee from New Zealand, Mr. Bruce McTavish, and the IBF supervisor, Mrs. Hiawatha Knight.
Well, as I said, Charlie Magri, who held this title, or a version of it, not so long ago. How do you look at this, Charlie? How's it going to go?
Well, I think this guy looks a very strong fella, and I think Duke's got to really box him for the first 4 rounds. He's got to just keep on his left hand and just confuse him a bit, because he looks very tough, doesn't he?
Well, I think most Filipinos are. You know that.
I know that, yeah.
So here we go. Duke Mckenzie on the left, much the taller of these two men. The European champion. He's 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he'll have a 3-inch height advantage here and reach advantage, consequently, over the champion Rolando Bohal. We have a New Zealand referee who, strangely enough, lives in Manila, which is where Bohal comes from. But to offset that, there's a British judge among the 3 sitting ringside to do the scoring. So the Filipino champion in the white trunks, boxing southpaw at the moment, but he might go the other way around as well. He can switch. 28 fights, Bohal. He's 124, but only 3 inside the distance. And 2 defeats. The last man to beat him was another South Korean. He meets a lot of them, Chun Hyu. And that was in South Korea in July '86. Last time he was beaten, and the only other time he's ever boxed outside his own country. Well, as Charlie was saying, Mckenzie starting this cautiously enough, as he must do, and test out what Bohal has to offer. What we do know of his previous fights, we know that Bohal can come through 15 rounds. He'll only have to go 12 here if he goes all the way, but he can come through 15 rounds with a cut, come very strong at the start, and then cruise through to the finish to win a points title. That's how he won the title, with a cut on his right eye. So we believe him to be a strong, tough and aggressive man over the opening few rounds. Well, Mckenzie has waited a long time for this chance, but at last it's come. Mckenzie from that famous boxing family, which includes Clinton Mckenzie, who is somewhere here tonight, surely, the former British and European light welterweight champion. And if Mckenzie can make good use of this long reach advantage, then he's got great chances here of bringing a version of the world flyweight title back to Britain. Dangerous looking little attack there at the end of that first round. Charlie, you know everything about Duke Mckenzie because he was the last man you boxed.
That's right. I think.
Tell us what he's like to meet.
I think he's a very good fighter under pressure. I really honestly underestimated him when I boxed him. I thought myself like he's going to be another one of these British fighters I can just knock over, but he surprised me highly. You know, he's really very good under pressure, and he's a good fighter off the ropes. But this guy here tonight looks very sharp, and he's a bit awkward being a southpaw.
But he's got the same problem as you had with Mckenzie. I mean, Mckenzie's so tall for the weight, isn't he, and long reach.
But he seems to be getting through occasionally with that left hand, and I'm you know, like, it's going to be a 12-round fight, so it's just a matter of time. I think Mckenzie's got to stick to his boxing a bit more.
You're obviously very worried about this guy, Bohal, aren't you?
I am. You know, he looks a lot better than what I expected him to be, and when he's shaped up there, and he's a very cagey customer.
Bohal comes out for round 2 against the challenger Duke Mckenzie, the champion of Europe, former British champion. Wearing IBF gloves tonight, with the thumb attached to the side of the glove, so they can't use the thumb independently of the rest of the glove. Safety measure. Bohal never was an amateur. Came straight into the game as a pro in 1984. Bohal is the 14th Filipino boxer to win a world title. Mckenzie still using his big ring to good advantage, using his physical advantages to try to keep Bohal away from him in these early stages. Bruce McTavish from New Zealand, the referee.
Break, step back.
Bohal sticking to the southpaw stance, although he can turn.
That's it here.
Mckenzie taking this very coolly. Just the looking left hand to the top of Duke's head. This champion, Charlie, puts him under a lot of pressure very quickly, suddenly, doesn't he? Suddenly he comes forward and he looks fierce.
Well, I think, you know, like, the pressure he's putting Duke under, I think it's frightening to sort of... I'm feeling a little bit frightened for him myself, but I think what he's got to do, he's got to feint more with that jab. Be a bit more positive with it when he catches him, you know what I mean? That Bohal, he's a very dangerous customer. I think he's a good, worthy champion.
Do you think either of them is having a bit of trouble with the weight? They both weighed exactly 8 stone at the weigh-in. And Duke, I've always thought, must be having trouble at 5'7", keeping down to 8 stone all these years.
Well, I think that day before weighing in must have done him a right favour, really, because he looks a lot stronger now for it, and the Filipino in the same...
How many pounds do you think Duke might have put on since yesterday?
I think he could have put on a good 5 pound.
Really? So he could be 8'5" now.
That's right.
The other guy a bit lighter. Bohal, champion in the white shorts. Aggressive little man. But for the large apart, being kept at bay by that long left lead. That's a good-looking right from Mckenzie. If he can get that employed a few times, that could be a very significant punch. He picked him up well with that. Mckenzie showing signs here. He wants to step the pace up a bit. Mckenzie's had experience in American rings in the early part of his pro career. His manager, Mickey Duff, took him out there and gave him, I think, 5 fights in the States. And he won them all in the inside the distance. Good experience. Another good right. Mckenzie settling down, gaining in confidence, as long as he doesn't leave himself too exposed.
Okay, break, step back.
In the previous 2 rounds, the champion has come very strongly at the end of the round. Again, he's doing it. He seems to know when they're in the last minute of the round.
Right out.
Mckenzie getting the better of these exchanges. That was another right low from the champion. A good round for Mckenzie. He loosened up a bit there, and once or twice he threw very dangerous looking right hands.
Well, I think he's got to do a lot more of that, Harry. You know, he's going round to that opposite side to the left of his southpaw right, and I think like he's got to throw that right hand a bit more often.
Well, we're a quarter of the way through, but he, I mean, he started well. You said he had to come out and box. He's done that, hasn't he? He's kept the man at bay for most of the time. That right's coming up again here, Charlie. Look, we'll just have a look at this Mckenzie right here. Picked him up well with this. Nice punch.
Very good punch that was, Harry. I think he's got to do a bit more of that now. The pace is going to step up, and I think that Bohal is going to come out a bit more harder this round. Mckenzie's got to really keep his guards up.
Okay, well, let's hope he does. There's the face of the champion. And there's a glimpse of Lloyd Hannigan, Britain's world welterweight champion. Keen observer of this. A lot of good fighters around the ringside here tonight, including the one sitting next to me, Charlie Magri. That's a good right hand. He staggers the champion with it. Best punch he's thrown yet, Mckenzie. Mckenzie handling this at the moment very well. He's using his reach, and he's very quick to get the right hand in. But these are moments when Bohal might be very dangerous indeed when he feels himself being picked off like that. Good left hook. At the moment, Mckenzie doing everything right. Mckenzie's got the distance judged absolutely right at the moment. He's picking his man off and then stepping back where he's out of harm's way.
Keep your head up.
Moving nicely as he comes in, Mckenzie, making the other man miss. Bohal still dangerous, let's not forget that. But his record doesn't show himself to be an enormous, puncher. He's only stopped 3 men in 24 wins. And when he won the title and when he defended it for the first time, he had to go 15 rounds. Good punch. And at this point, Mckenzie is very well on top indeed.
Watch your head.
And looking strong and forcing the champion back. Another low punch from Bohal. Well, what about that, Charlie? He's doing very well, hasn't he?
That was a brilliant round by Mckenzie. I thought that was fantastic. You know, I see him there, just holding on there for a little bit. Mckenzie stunned him with a left hook there.
Well, there were 1 or 2 very, very good punches from Mckenzie there, and I think we're going to see a sample or 2 of them coming up. Here we are. Let's have a look at this. Which is this? Top of the head. Now let's have our overhead camera on it and see what we can see from this. Here's he. Top of the head and the uppercut and a left hook. Yeah, that's, you see, he really had him going always there. What do you make of that, Charlie? Good?
Well, it's going to definitely hearten up this fight. I think...
Yes, I think the champion's going to have to work a bit harder and probably will. Bohal in the white shorts. Mckenzie from Croydon. Won his British title the night McGuigan beat Eusebio Pedrosa in the football ground at Queen's Park Rangers, June 1985. And won his European title, of course, against Charlie Magri. This is another caution for low punching 3 times, and he's going to have marks deducted for that. So, this is turning out at the moment to be not too happy an experience for Bohal. He's getting himself into trouble with the referee, and certainly getting himself into trouble with Mckenzie. But, remember, the man's still strong. Filipinos don't give up their titles lightly. Bohal forcing hard now, but still being picked up on the right hand. Bohal forcing himself back into this. Mckenzie needs to work hard. Go with him. again from Mckenzie. Boxing beautifully again. Well, there can't be much doubt, Charlie, that after these early rounds, Mckenzie's well in front now, I would think, particularly after that caution about the low punching.
Well, I'll make him in front there anyway, and I think he's boxing beautifully. As the fight goes on, he's boxing better and better. I think he's got to throw a few more right hands for my liking, because every time he throws that right hand, he knocks that other guy off balance.
It's very noticeable that once Duke eases up a bit, this guy comes at him very, very strongly, doesn't he?
I think
he only needs a bit of encouragement.
I think he senses that Duke slows up a little bit and he just comes on stronger.
They've got a bit of a swelling coming there, because they're trying to iron it away with that steel. So, a little bit of concern in the Filipinos' corner. But, fingers crossed, from Britain's point of view at the moment, with 5 rounds completed, it's going well. And Bohal taking the full rest. Scheduled for 12 rounds, this is the 6th. Again, he gets picked up on that right hand. Bohal's got no defense against that. Mckenzie easing off slightly here. Bohal's never been allowed to fight this the way he wants to fight it. He wants to swarm all over Mckenzie, and he can't do it. Mckenzie picking off the Filipinos' punches on his gloves and getting his own counters in. This is certainly a very impressive piece of boxing by Mckenzie. He's keeping control of this very coolly. And we're very close to the halfway stage now. And the dangerous moments for Mckenzie come when he tries to mix it. Filipino managed a little grin as he went back to the corner, but I don't think he's got too much to grin about. Do you, Charlie?
Well, I think Mckenzie's getting better every round. He's looked really good in that round, and I think he's taking over now. Looking at it from my point of view, I think he's in front.
How would you gauge the two of them to go the 12 rounds? Who do you think is going to be the stronger over 12?
Well, to me now, it's looking like Mckenzie's getting stronger all the time, and he's looking at his face. He looks so happy with himself.
He's taken very few punches, actually, hasn't he? Whereas Bohal's taken... Just beat the count from that. It was touch and go. But he did bravely clamber up and went on. And then it was all too much for him. This is the same knockdown again from another angle. Sprawled flat on his back. I never thought he was going to make it.
After 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to get up in the ring, and Charlie, I'll leave you to talk with Steve Ryder while I'm gone.
And the new IBF flyweight champion of the world, Mckenzie.
Yeah, well, Harry makes his way into the ring to greet the new champion. Charlie, what impressed you most about Duke's performance tonight?
Well, the way he came on round after round, towards the end of the rounds, he was coming on so strong for his size and making the weight so good, he looked brilliant.
Do you see any great difference between Duke now and the man you faced a couple of years ago?
Well, there's a lot of difference at the moment because he's had a lot more experience, and the confidence is growing on him so much, and now winning that title, he must be over the moon.
What do you think that he can go on and achieve now? Because he's got one version of the world title.
Well, I think he can win the WBA. He can beat that Basso bloke. I don't think he's very good at all, but a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but I think Duke Mckenzie could beat him.
Okay, Charlie, I think Harry's got his man now. Let's hear from the new champion.
Yeah, come on, Colin. We're ready. Very broken down.
Obviously, emotion still running high there in the corner. Lloyd Hannigan giving his congratulations as well. Very happy scenes, Charlie, aren't they?
That's right, it is happy scenes there. There's all his brothers in the ring. Duke Mckenzie can't even get his senses here. I think he's giving a little cry.
Huh? Are they ready? Ready, let's go. I'll go around this.
Right, Harry, I think, is with the new champion now.
Congratulations, that was a tremendous performance. Are you all right? Can you talk to me?
I don't know what to say.
You're overwhelmed, I know what it's like. What can you say to me?
No,
that was an amazing performance. You took the guy apart. You absolutely took him apart.
It's,
you took him apart. You took him
it's just
apart.
been a long time coming.
You waited a long time, that's right.
We waited a long time.
The night's here and you've done it.
Yeah.
It was tremendous.
Yeah, done it in style, Harry.
Can't believe
Done
it.
it in style.
Tell me about, how did you plan it? What was the plan?
There was no fan. I just knew I had to go with him, Harry.
But you boxed him so well in the early stages. You never
He
let
was
him
so
get in.
strong. I thought he was going to knock me out.
Sure, come on.
He was never going to knock you out, my son. You always kept him out. But what a finish. What do you think of that finish you just put in there?
That was brilliant. It was brilliant.
I can't, sir. I can't.
Duke, the champion. Well done, congratulations. And Charlie Magri told me to congratulate you, so that was great. Duke, thanks very much.
Good fight.
Well, there we are. We can't get too many words out of the champion because he's so overwhelmed with his success, he really can't speak to me.